Black small square. Yeah, black small square. Black small square. Fears of a recession are looming across the country. Yahoo Finances. Jana Heron joins us now with tips on how to prepare yourself financially in the event of a downturn. Jenna, what's the first thing people should do to get ready? Black small square. Black small square. Sure. And you know what? Happy almost New Year to you, Jared. But yeah, so I know people are probably a little worried that there's a recession coming and what that might mean for their finances. So the first thing I think people should do is actually take stock of their financial situation, and I would actually recommend this. Regardless of whether you're worried about a recession, it's a great time of the year to really figure out what money is going in and what money is going out. So what is your financial situation that includes? What are your essential bills? So what do you spend on housing, your car payment if you need your car to get to work, your health insurance, your utilities and food? Those are the essentials, right? You need to make sure you have money to always meet those bills, then tally up your other bills. So how much do you spend on that other stuff, like, going out, your credit card debt, your subscriptions, your streaming services, cable? These are kinds of expenses that can either be eliminated altogether or cut down, and it's good to know what those are. Then take a tally of your cash on hand. So what do you have in your checking account? What do you have in your savings account? Do you have any money floating around in CDS? So I know what you have there. And then last, what are the other sources of cash that you might be able to tap? And it might be a little bit harder. So if you own your home, can you get a home equity line of credit or a home equity loan? Do you have a certain type of life insurance policy that allows you to withdraw money early or take a loan? What about your retirement accounts? Does your employer allow you to take a loan against your 401k? So you want to really gather a good picture of where your finances are and where you can go to if you run into trouble in general. We hear a lot to talk about an emergency fund. Exactly, for a time like this when times get tough, I guess people want to know, and I'm curious, how much should people be allocating towards their emergency fund, and any tips if people don't have one and are looking to build one pretty quickly. Black small square. Yeah, emergency funds really great to have. It really gives you peace of mind. The rule of thumb is to have 3 to 6 months of your expenses saved up. You want to be closer to that 6-month goal if you're a one-income household. You can be at that 3-month goal if you have more than one person with making income. But here's the thing that sounds like a lot of money, and it's really hard to get past that. So don't get overwhelmed. Start small by trying to save the amount of your largest bill first. So that would likely be your mortgage or your rent. So if you lose your job, you look in your emergency fund, you're like, hey, you know what? At least I have next month's rent or mortgage paid, and that gives you a little bit of a buffer after that. Then try to get 1 month of expenses saved up. So start small and don't feel discouraged that you don't have the whole kit and caboodle. Now, how do you go about building an emergency fund? It's almost tax season, guys, but you know what that means. A lot of people are going to get a tax refund, and that is a good chunk of money to put away to start your emergency fund. You might also get a bonus from work. That's another place where you can jumpstart that emergency fund. And if you have any side gigs or things like that, then you can start allocating some of that money to your emergency fund. So those are some quick ways to really build up those savings that you can tap in case things go wrong. And Jenna, we've heard a lot about layoffs mainly concentrated in the tech sector, but there are concerns as the Fed is raising rates that they're also going to engineer recession. So if somebody out there is worried about losing their job, what advice do you have for them? What may be in their control? So I don't worry about. One of things you can't control is if your company is going to have layoffs, right? So what you need to think about is how you can position yourself if you lose your job. So one of the things I would say to do is update your resume and your LinkedIn profile, and I would do this now before you lose your job, because there's gonna be a lot of other things that you have to deal with after you lose a job. So you might not feel like doing an update on my resume or my LinkedIn profile at that time. Don't let your network go stale. Talk with people, make sure you're asking about job openings, other places, just keep in touch with everybody. So if you didn't lose your job, you can tap them and ask them if there are any openings where they are working. The other thing I would say is to make sure your skills or certifications are updated before anything bad could happen. So take advantage of any new training that your company offers right now to beef up that resume. Or if you have to take some classes to get some certifications up to date, make sure to do that before things go south. Thank you for watching, and we kindly ask you to support our work with a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe.